In this edition of Project TJ, we're putting what's in the box onto the front of that. Hi guys, my name's Daryl Sheether and welcome to Project TJ. In today's episode, we're installing a Warn Zeon 8S winch. Now that's an 8,000 pound pulling capacity. Generally when you're installing winches you want something that will pull approximately 2 times the vehicle weight. For a TJ that's more than enough, and we've gone for the synthetic rope version over the wire cable. For weight it gets it down to about 35 kilos, and for safety you generally find when a synthetic rope snaps it doesn't have the whiplash effect that a wire cable will. So why are we installing the Warn over the much cheaper Chinese or Chinese rebranded versions that you see all over the place? I had one of the generic Chinese winches last time, worked fine whenever I wanted to use it. Looks weren't that great on the front of the car, and this looks a whole lot better. But the bright work on it rusted after a while, whereas the Warn has stainless steel fittings, and the powder coating on the last one wasn't that great and went really chalky quickly. With the rope you get 100 feet, so that hopefully that'll get us out of most things. Now installing a winch isn't that hard. Generally if you've bought a winch mount bumper, they've already got a winch plate built into the bumper that's pre-drilled. I know my metal cloak does, or you need a winch plate that you can drill into the vehicle. Firstly, we'll open the box and get it out and see what's in there, and then we'll install it to the vehicle today. Let's open this up. We've got our paperwork in the top. We've got our remote control, which is nicely rubberized and everything, so it's far better than the Chinese one already. Quite nice connectors. That's all our bolts and nuts, and the hook for the end. Cable. So that's the winch itself. It appears to be all together except for the rope that needs to be installed. And the rope, the fair lead, which we won't be using. Looks like we're good to go. This is an impressive looking unit compared to the Chinese ones. The power cable is already heat shielded. I've seen some guys heat shielding Chinese winch cables online. It's all good quality stuff. They aren't exposed to the elements. A lot of the Chinese ones have a connection block just here, whereas these go inside this. It's a very nice unit. That's the connection for the wired remote, and it does have a snug fitting rubber cap on it, and the drum's aluminium. Now I think I've already covered this, but this metal cloak bumper of mine is absolutely gorgeous, and there's nothing available in Australia that's like this. We've got a one-piece winch plate that's already drilled. It's got a bespoke fair lead that's aluminium, so we don't need to use the supplied version. And our recovery hooks are 2/6 aluminium, and they're bolted straight to the chassis. So this is a really nice piece of kit. And it looks like it's been made for it. Now there's 4 nuts that become captive nuts. They slide into the unit as so. And there's 2 at the front and 2 at the back. These have just bolted up under the front part of the 4 existing holes, so the winch is all bolted up now. Now the only thing that is a little bit of annoyance is because our Jeep is a right-hand drive Jeep, our battery is on the left-hand side. These cables are very nice situated on the right-hand side. We actually have to run them behind So this is all wired up now, and if this will focus, I've had to take the wires behind the grill across to the left hand side. They've gone under the radiator and then back up. The negative wire I've brought along here and tucked it underneath the guard lip where the other loom runs, and that goes up to the battery. The positive I've brought up between the coolant bottle and the washer reservoir underneath the cruise control and to the battery that way. I've cable tied it to the cruise control, the existing wiring loom that it runs along under here, so it should be fairly stout. Now we've got to put the rope on. It's just to get this hole where you feed the loop at the end of the rope through in that position, and it looks as though now comes the difficult bit because we've got to feed it through there. So you have to bring the rope around the drum, and then I've put a couple of cable ties around here so I can pull the rope through. You've got to feed the rope around the drum into the back of this hole. Reverse the drum. Got it. So now we've got our winch through, we'll take this with the long side to the left hand side of the car, insert that into the loop in the drum, as so, and then tug back on that, and then we should be able to wind it in. And then we just need to insert the hook, bend over the split pin, and that is about it. And that looks like job done to me. So we unhook this, put in the rubber bung, put this in a plastic bag and in the glove box. So all we need to do now is admire our work. So I think you'll agree that wasn't that hard a job today, and I think the results speak for themselves. There may be a part 2 of this video. I do think we need to condition the rope, and I haven't done that before, so I'll have to do a little bit of research and come back to it. So that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have, because it looks great and I haven't had to get my hands too dirty. See yous.